Netflix. We all love Netflix. The simplicity of watching shows on Netflix isn't like any other movie watching experience. There's just something about watching on Netflix that makes it so satisfying. No ads, best quality you can get, and my favorite, you can start watching the show and if you like it, you're most probably going to binge it, because you can. You don't have to wait a week to get a new episode of anything. It's just there on the table laid out perfectly. But talking about anime on Netflix, well, I mean, it's there, but Netflix basically has the anime that they know is gonna be widely watched. Like Your Lie in April, Gurren Lagann, and I mean even Naruto, and many other mainstream anime. Needless to say, Netflix knows how to pick their anime that they stream. But do they know how to make one? The best Netflix original, in my opinion, is Devilman Crybaby. The unique art style, the story, the characters. I mean, Masaki Yuasa just nailed this one. Other than that, there's the recent show that is just getting a second season in January, which is Beastars. It's also in my top 10 anime of all time, for so many reasons, but there's also shows like Baki, Agretsuko, Violet Evergarden, and Dorohedoro that show you that Netflix originals are not to be taken lightly. Well, yes, these are widely known shows, and a lot of people like them and watch them. But what about a bit less famous shows on Netflix? Recently I took up 3 Netflix originals. I watched Dragon's Dogma, which was written by the same guy that wrote Gurren Lagann and Certain Scientific Railgun, and for that reason I had some expectations about this anime, but more about that later. I also took up 7 Seeds, which I am currently watching. I love this kind of survival anime because I like Dr. Stone and I thought this would be a good choice for me. And last, but most certainly not least, and I don't really know if this is an anime or not. I mean, it says it is on Netflix, but it's not on Mal, so I'm not really sure. What I'm talking about is Blood of Zeus. And well, I had high expectations for this one. Let's start off with Dragon's Dogma. This anime is based off of a game also called Dragon's Dogma, and I don't really blame you if you've never heard of it. It's a Japanese game made in 2012, and I heard that anime follows the game pretty closely. So we follow our main protagonist, Ethan, and he's one sturdy boy. But basically one day a dragon attacked his village and killed his wife, unborn son, and a boy he was taking care of. He was the only one that stood up to the dragon and wounded him, and the dragon recognized his anger and hate, so he decided to take something. We don't really get to see his background, or rather why he was so strong, but that's fine. But basically on his quest to take back what the dragon stole from him, he sees what humans are really like. The greed, the envy, and the revenge that is inside every human soul. He sees all of that just to become the same at the end. To become lust, to want to draw dragon's blood. I mean, that would be fine, but there's a catch. He wasn't supposed to kill the dragon out of revenge or personal gain. Well, if he did that, I mean, you're gonna have to find out for yourself. But this anime shows us that humans are not really who they seem to be at first. There's always something dark in one's heart, and that may very well be the end of them. The anime was really short with 7 episodes, but it really summed everything up. With each episode being the other town, the other kind of people, and the other kind of darkness in human soul. The anime has only rating of 6 on Mal, but I reckon that is because of some minor things, like the story itself is good, but it's a little fast paced and some people don't really like that. Personally, I didn't really mind it on this anime that much because it kind of just fits right. Also the the animations, oh boy. The same as Jin, and I mean, I didn't try to think about it, but I kind of did, and it's not really the best animation I've ever seen, so yeah. Also, the main character isn't really lovable. He didn't really listen to anybody else, although they obviously knew more than he does, and that was kind of annoying. Either way, the story was good and it had a deeper meaning behind it, but that's probably all there is to it. I don't have anything against it, nor do I have anything that really amazed me, but it's a decent anime to watch. The second Netflix original, as I mentioned earlier, is Seven Seeds. I thought this anime would be kind of like Dr. Stone, and it still kind of is, but not quite, I guess. Everyone who watched it was kind of overhyping it, so I thought I should give it a shot. The manga is award-winning, meaning it has the base and the potential. If you haven't heard of Seven Seeds, it's basically post-apocalyptic scenery, most probably hundreds of years after the disaster happened on Earth. So the meteor hit the Earth and everyone on Earth knew it was coming. Well, there were a few solutions to deal with the meteor, and humanity basically had to go for the worst case scenario. Scientists picked a few teams of 7 people plus 1 guide for each team in order to preserve humanity. But as you'd expect, after a few years the Earth is not the same. The animals have changed, the continents are not the same, or rather there are no continents anymore. Everything is flooded and we basically follow our 2 main teams, make their way around Japan, hunting, surviving, and learning that their cities have been flooded. Surprise, surprise. Like, is that it? Yeah. To be honest, I just watched 6 episodes because the pacing was really fucking slow at the beginning, and I wanted to get some more action at the time. So I did, with the third anime I picked up from Netflix, Blood of Zeus. I waited for this anime for like a month, and when it actually aired I forgot it did, and I was really triggered at myself. I stopped watching Seven Seeds on like the 6th episode, because I needed something fresh, and this was the perfect timing. I was super hyped about this anime, because when do you get anything about Greek mythology? Or even rather, when do you get an anime about Greek myths? I love this concept, I love the Greek gods, and it was only natural that I watched this anime. Although this anime is not the most accurate take on Greek mythology, it does introduce new characters to give itself the freedom to make a new story. I've seen many people complaining about this anime not being accurate, like, when did they say that it had to be accurate? I mean, they obviously made up a new story that actually worked. I mean, in the beginning you're immediately hooked. There's just something about the main character. Although he is flawed, there's just something about him that makes you click on the next episode button. Now sure, I can agree on the argument that this anime is too short, which it really was. Unlike Dragon's Dogma, I feel like this isn't the anime that can have such a small amount of episodes. The story is a bit rushed, and I think they could have pushed it to at least 12 episodes. Maybe they didn't feel like it was gonna do this well. I love most of the characters, but my favorite is obviously Zeus. I think he was the best written character, and my least favorite is probably the Amazon girl, simply because she was just kind of there with her stupid little map, and I don't know, she didn't really feel right. Also, you know why I was drawn into this anime? Except the title, I saw the animations and the art style. Specifically the style of the Titans, I mean, that was amazing. Other than that, I love every god's appearance, and I do like the animations. They are not the typical Netflix animations like Dragon's Dogma, Ajin, and God forbid, Berserk 2016. Anyways, if I had to rank these 3 anime, it would be probably Blood of Zeus first. Well, I mean, most definitely Blood of Zeus being first, Dragon's Dogma being second, and I haven't quite finished Seven Seeds, so it's on third. Simply because the pacing at the beginning, as I said, was really slow. but I'm gonna finish it eventually, don't worry. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.